Greetings, I'm Justin. I am doing a homeschool Black History project 2022. First off, I'm going to start off with Charles Baker. Charles Baker worked over decades on his product, attempting several different forms and frictions, including rubbing two bricks together mechanically, as well as using various types of metals. After 23 years, the invention was perfected in the form of two metal cylinders, one inside of the other, with a spinning cone in the center made a wood that produced the friction. Baker started a business with several other men.
Several other men? Maybe?
That's what I said.
Okay.
The heater, the frictional heat and boiler company was established in 1904 in St. John's with Baker on the board. The company worth up to $136,000 in the capital, equal to nearly $6 million in 2022. Adam Clayton Powell Jr.
Who's in the picture?
Chuck Stone, Malcolm X, Adam Clay Powell Jr., and Kwame. Adam Clay Powell Jr., who represented the United States Congress from 1945 through 1971, was the first modern African man in politics and the first black congressman to real power in the halls of Washington. Hotwood 2022 to succeed his father as the pastor of Abyssinian Baptist Church in Pearland in the pulpit and the political career. Hotwood 2022, nevertheless, after 12 terms in the House Recital, Power has successfully given hope to many by his encouraging words and international fighting spirit kept the baby spirit gently and walked together. I got it from History, Arts, and Arteries 2002. Alex Haley, Alexander Murray Palmer Haley, the oldest of three sons. George and Julius was born to Simmons and Bertha Palmer on August 11, 1921 in Attica, New York. Weeks after his birth, Simmons and Bertha returned to Henry, Tennessee.
Slow down.
Henry, Tennessee, present with Will and Cynthia Palmer. With their grandson, Alex Haley, was a writer who wrote of history, fiction, and reportage.
And was that Simon?
Generation of Life. Alex Haley is widely known for roots in the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Autobiography
of Malcolm X. Next up, we have Carter G. Woodson. He's a good man too. Carter G. Woodson overcame early obstacles to become a prominent historian and author of several novel books on black history. Woodson was born in 1875 to a former slave. His schooling was erratic because he had to help out on the family farm when he was a young boy and as a teenager, 17. Worked in the coal mines.
Work where?
Coal mines.
Coal
mines.
Okay.
However, he attended Douglas High School as a school established in 1891 as one of the few black high schools available to African American youth. Woodson graduated from Douglas as one of his highest achieving students by 1901. Carter G. Woodson have earned a West Virginia teaching certificate, where he scored well above average in drawing, music, science, educational methods, and history. Burnett College 2022. In 1926, In the United States, historian Carter G. Woodson and the Associates for the Study of the Negro Life history announced the second week of February to the Negro History Week. It wasn't until 1976 that the study of Negro life and history would become Black History Month. Next up, we have David Walker.
Okay.
David Walker was born in an uncertain year. Some sources say in 1785 in Wilmington, North Carolina, witnessed slavery and racism. He wrote in 1829 Palmolette appeal to the colored citizens of the world that urged African Americans to fight for freedom and equality according to religion. Scholar Gray Rod S. Wilmot appeal to the colored citizens of the world was the most powerful piece and of anti-slavery propaganda written by a black in it. Wilmington native David Walker encouraged slaves to revolt against their master, not just Nat Turner, as many have told. Walker decided for infant violence, but also changed the uplifting moments. He was 33 when he died in Boston, Massachusetts, on August 6. Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy was born in Canada to the parents who have fled slavery. McCoy trained as an engineer in Scotland as a teenager. Unable to find an engineering position in the United States, he took a job working for the railroads and subsequently invented a lubrication device to make railroads
lubrication. Okay.
Device to make railroads operational more efficient during his lifetime. McCoy patent more than 50 inventions. Okay. None more famous than his automatic oil coat, which eventually became standard equipment on the most locomotives and heavy machineries. Gary Morgan.
Back to the McCoy. Elijah McCoy reminds you of what saying? Put your paper down. What do you usually think of if you hear the McCoy?
The real McCoy.
Say it louder.
The real McCoy.
Okay.
That's all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gary Morgan. Next, I'm going to start talking about Gary Morgan. Gary Morgan began his career as a sewing machine mechanic, including the improved sewing machine and traffic signal, a hair straightening product, and a respiratory device that would have later provided the blueprint for World War I. That's it. World War I gas mask inventor died on July 27, 1863 in Cleveland, Ohio. Granville T. Woods spent his life working on improvements to the
You okay?
trying to see this one.
Go back, son. Go back. Go. Borgen? Oh. Mm-hmm.
Bergen. Bergen Electric Railroad industry of the late 19th century were so profitable that he's often known as the Black Thomas Edison. Woods was considered fortunate to receive an education to help him on the road to his innovation because During this period, few black children ever saw the inside of a classroom. Langston Hughes worked odd jobs, including a brief term as a crewman aboard the SS Malone in 1923, spending 6 months traveling to West Africa, and he stayed a while in Paris. He stayed a while in Paris, becoming a part of Black American community. He returned to the U.S. to live with his mother in Washington, D.C., working as a busboy.
Did he say he was part of the apartheid? And did what you put in there? Okay, apartheid. Langston Hughes, you wrote some more information down on the back of your form. There's a book that he wrote that was very controversial.
Langston Hughes, American Poetry Association. Langston Hughes was a central figure in the Harlem
Renaissance
1920. He tried honestly to property the generous hardship of the working class. Black avoided. This is 7-8. No, this.
Okay, he avoided both sentimentals.
He avoided both sentimental
and stereotypes.
Mm-hmm. In some cases, Langston was shamed by blacks and whites because his writing seen as fine, close to the Jews. His articles about working.
I think you skipped the title of it. It was Fine Clothes for Jews.
This was I said.
You didn't say it, but go ahead.
About working blacks and cared some to up near. Nearless Mr. Langston, the last black writer that could have that.
He was the first black writer that could pay
bills based on his ages from writing.
Okay, Bill Pickett.
Next, we're going to start on Bill Pickett. Pickett or Pickett?
Pickett.
Pickett. William Bill Pickett. Bill Pickett coined the term bulldog. Bill Pickett, born on December 5th, 1870, and Wilson County, Texas, U.S. died on April 2nd, died on April 2nd, 1932. Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma. Pickett was an African rodeo cowboy who introduced bulldogging, a modern rodeo event that involves wrestling as a runner straight to the ground and biting their top lip to gain control. Pickett performed until 1916, working as a cowhand and rancher. Therefore, he later appeared in the silent films of Bulldogger, 1921, and The Christmas School, 1922. He died after being kicked by a horse in April 1932. Any questions, Bottom? Okay.
Last but not least,
Adam Crosswhite. Adam Crosswhite, born in Burrow, Kentucky, January 23rd, 1878. Marshall Mitch Adam Crosswhite was the first skin Metallo from Burrow, Colorado.
He's a mulatto? Is that what you're saying? Mulatto?
His father was a white man named Powers, a half brother of Miss Ann Crosswhite to Miss Crosswhite before her marriage to Ned Stone, who sold Adam Crosswhite for $200 in 1819. Adam was traded to French Glitter and planter in Burrow, Colorado. There, Adam married Sarah in a slave ceremony and raised 4 children before 1830. French Glitter moved the entire family in his Hunter Boston in Carroll, Kentucky, near the Ohio River. In December 1846, acting sources gathered by the spy, a young authority in Lexington, Kentucky. Francis Chapman, grandson of a farmer owner and nephew of Francis Glitter, came to Calhoun County, Michigan, posting as a school teacher, seeking a place to settle. He hired a local deputy sheriff, Hart Dixon, to pose as a census sorter to the Scout League. In August, Adam learned that French Glitter planned to sell part of his family. So, Crosswhite sought help from the Underground Railroad organization in Madison, India, as a runaway slaves. And after having 2 narrow escapes using the narrowly organization safe routes through India, the Crosswhite, Adam and Sarah, and the 4 children of Benjamin Johnson and 2 girls. Another child was born in Michigan. The Crosswhite managed to escape to Marshall, a city in south central Michigan. There, Adam maintained a low profile. He worked, built a cabinet, and became accepted in the village. Perman in 2014 paid $100 and fines the next day in the local court before Judge Marshall Harbor, meaning the townspeople hid the Crosswhite family in the attic of George Anderson Mill. Isaac Jacob and the hoster at the Marshall house hired a team and covered wagon and on the night on January 27. Erickson and Addison B. Cook drove the Crosswhite family to Jackson, where they boarded a train to Detroit. George D. Baptist, the former Underground Railroad leader at Madison, India, met the Crosswhite in Detroit and took them to Canada. The Crosswhite family returned to Marshall, Mitch after the Civil War in 1878. Adam Crosswhite died and was buried in Oklahoma Ridge Cemetery in that city. In 1922, Michigan U-R-E-C-T-E. It was 1 minute. Thank you. Erected a bronze maker and bronze maker set in a stone boulder near the old Crosswhite cabin. The marker commemorates the runaway slave from Carroll, Colorado, Kentucky, and the role of the people of Marshall and reposing the Kentucky Post. Okay. Thank you for watching and thank you for supporting us.